Which of the following functions are one-to-one? So to check whether a function is one-to-one or not, the easiest way to do that visually is by plotting the graph and use the horizontal test. If every horizontal line hit the graph at one point, then the function is one-to-one. But if it is not, then it is not a one-to-one function. And I think we don't need calculator to do this because we know how to graph this. This is a transform of x squared 3 units upward. So something like that. Oops, I'm sorry. So something like that. So now if we do a horizontal test, this horizontal line hit the graph at 2 points. So it is not one-to-one. Now the graph of x cubed is something like this. And as we can see that every horizontal line hits the graph at 1 point. So it is one-to-one. And this is a linear function, and linear function always one-to-one. So 3x minus 9 is, first we have something like this. So the x-intercept is -9, so something like that. And if we draw horizontal line, it hits the graph at exactly 1 point. So it is also one-to-one. Okay, so this is not one-to-one, this is one-to-one, and that one also one-to-one. So the answer is B. Find all real solutions or state that there are none. Okay, so move x to one side. So we can add 3. We can somehow move this to the other side and move that to that side. So we have 10 plus 6 equals 3x plus 2x. So 5x is 16. Solving for x. X is equal to 16 over 5. The next problem, number 36. Let p of x equal to this cubic function. Decide which of the statements below are true. X equal to is a 0 of f of x. So is x equal to a 0 of f of x? So we need to check it. So 2 cubed is 8, 4 times 8, 32, plus 56 times 4 is 412, minus 1544, plus 1288. So let's check this here. 124 plus 32 is 156, and if we add 56 here, we get 1344. So it is not equal to 0. It is false. How about x equals -2? And I think this also even false, because now this number will be positive, and if we add these two positive number, it will be a big number. So you can check this. This is not a 0 because of 1 and 2, because 1 is equivalent to 4. 4 is also wrong, and and because 4 is equivalent to, because 1 also equivalent to 5 is wrong. So all are false. Unless I did some wrong calculation. So let us check again. So here we have 2 cubed, 32. 2 squared is 4 times 56 is, oh yes, I did mistake here. This should be 224. So 224, 256 here. So if we add, we get exactly that number. Okay. So my mistake. I'm sorry for that. Okay. So then this is true. Because the first statement is equivalent to 4, then 4 also true. I think this should be P of X. Okay. All of this. And then the first statement also equivalent to 5 because it says that 2, 0 is on the graph, which is equivalent to P of 2 is equal to 0. And you can check that x equal -2 is not a 0. So then this is also false. That's also false. So the answer is 1 is true. So 1, 4, and 5 are true. 1, 4, 5 are true. 2, 3, 6 are false. See. Let f of x equals to this. Determine the end behavior of y equals f of x. And remember that the end behavior is determined by the leading term. The leading term of f of x is -2. So the leading term is -2x to the 7. When x approaches to infinity, this number will be big and remain positive. But because we have a negative sign in front of it, then y will approach negative infinity. Now if x approaches negative infinity, this number will be big, but also a negative number because raised to an odd exponent. But we already have a negative sign in front of it, so negative times negative is positive. Then y goes to positive infinity. So as x approaches infinity, y approaches negative infinity. Where is the answer? As x approaches infinity, y approaches negative infinity, and x approaches negative infinity. No, that's not what we want. This is what we want. X approaches infinity, y approaches negative infinity, and as x approaches negative infinity, y approaches infinity. So the answer is E.